Hi everybody, it's me, Sharon. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for being here. Today I want to talk to you guys about little things that have brought me joy in the past few months. The past few months have been super exciting. I've been on a 40-day trip to Asia, I graduated, I went to Cuba with my friends. However, that has all come to an end, so I am now just hanging out with myself. I spent about a month trying to find a job because it's really hard to find a job that will only take you from June to August, but I finally found one, which is awesome. So I've been working, but for the most part, I've really just been hanging out by myself, me and the cat. My partner is travel nursing right now, so he's not home. So this is my first time living fully by myself, and that has been such a huge learning curve. I think it's just a very different way of existing, especially after such a hectic and fun and new month. So yeah, I've just been trying to get settled, which has been honestly quite the challenge. It's been weird. A lot of my friends are not in the city anymore, and so I've been spending a lot of time by myself in solitary, and I have to remember what I used to like doing. So I just wanted to tell you guys, or talk to you guys about just things that have made me happy, things that have brought me joy, and things that I've been thinking about in this past little while. So I'm gonna start with recent favorites, just because it's easy to jump into. I have been obsessed with What We Do in the Shadows. It's this mockumentary style TV show about vampires, and I love the implications of the show. I love Guillermo so much. I love is he in love with his master? Are they in love with each other? It's just there's so many implications about the people that live in the world, and werewolves are real, but ghosts aren't real, but ghosts aren't real. It's really fun. It's so unserious. It's super silly. I literally watched the entire thing in 3 days, which is kind of nuts. Highly, highly, highly recommend. Super funny, super silly. Can't wait for the next season. So, in terms of books, I have been reading Babel by R.F. Kuang, which I'm sure everybody's talked about already. But I will say, as someone who's mixed, specifically half, my mom's from Hong Kong, so half Chinese and then half white, I resonated so much with the main character right from the start. I think I'm only, I'm less than 200 pages into the book, but literally just immediately I feel such a kinship with him, and he goes to this elite institution, and his best friend is this brown kid, and they experience racism, and I'm this is literally me. When I was in high school, my best friend Isha, shout out, love her, but I was this is so me, and going to university and then being hate crimed within the first day. Why is that such a universal experience? Actually, why is that so universal? Oh my gosh, I've never felt representation this accurate before, and it was actually so exciting for me, because I was oh my god, that's literally me. That's crazy. So I'm super excited about it. I'm really intrigued by the plot and the concept of it all. But yeah, I've been trying to read more since I'm done school, so I'm may as well get back into reading. I used to be a huge book nerd when I was a kid. I used to read, I would do NaNoWriMo every year. I think I finished it like 2 or 3 years in a row, which, pretty proud of myself. I don't write or read anymore at all, because university has really just ruined it for me. And honestly, guys, as someone who was a writer before I went to university, it actually kind of fucked me up for academic writing, specifically in the more scientific field, and psychology and stuff. My TAs hate the way that I write, because I cannot write in a scientific way. I have a very distinct voice when I write, and it's so unserious. And that was consistently a very I did not do very well on my essays. I mean, I could have done better on my essays just because of the tone of it all. Also, I have ADHD, and it's really the way that my brain works is very different from the way that neurotypical people's brains work. My thoughts, I've realized, are very disorganized, and it's difficult for me to present a logical explanation for my reasoning without going on 15 different side tangents. So that was another big struggle for academic writing for me, but that's whatever. And then lastly, the Locked Tomb series. It actually took me so long to get through these books because of school. I was really I did not have time to read, so it was very all over the place. But oh my god, the Locked Tomb series is actually nuts. The way that it's so confusing in the first half of the book, and then everything just starts falling into place. The author is, you can tell, such like very intelligent, very well researched, just has like, is just it's so good. And it's gay, so the plot is nuts. I actually had to like watch people explain it to me because I read it and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I genuinely don't know. Okay, so that's the media that I would recommend at the moment right now. Let's talk about makeup. I got like a few Ipsy product things. Ipsy is basically a makeup company and they'll send you just random makeup for like $15 a month, whatever. I wouldn't recommend it just because I think it's very consumerist. I think I got like 2 gift bags and then it was good. Like I enjoyed some of the products they sent me, but then some of the products they sent me I didn't want. And then I'm just like, well, I don't want to throw this out. And I just realized that I don't need more things. I just realized I don't need more things. I don't need more makeup. And so I just kind of like stopped buying makeup because I was like, well, I have all this stuff from Ipsy and it's like, I'm gonna try and use it up before I like purchase more. And then I just never purchased more. Anyways, graduation came up and I wanted to buy more makeup because I was like, all of my makeup is super old. I also only do my eyes. I never would experiment with like blush or bronzer or concealer or anything. So I went with my friends to Sephora and I picked up this like a Milk Makeup Cream Blush. And oh my gosh, it has changed my life. I've been wearing it like every single day, or just cream blush in general. So there's the Milk Makeup Cream blush. And then there's also this cream blush I got from one of the refilleries in town. So for those of you who don't know, a refillery is basically a place where you go, you bring empty containers and then they'll have soap, they'll have like dishwasher stuff, toothpaste, like it's just a way to be a little bit more conscious of the environment, laundry detergent. And honestly, it's actually cheaper than a lot of things because a lot of the time when you're buying soap, you are paying for like the packaging as well. So it is a lot cheaper. At least the place that I go to buy a lot of things. And they have this really awesome program where you can just like sample anything for free if you just buy one of their like sampling containers. So I got one of these samples that was a cream blush and I'm wearing it right now. Obsessed. Once I figured out how to apply it with the brush, awesome. I love cream blush. I love it. It's great. Changed my life, okay? Highly recommend. The Milk Makeup one, you can get it at Sephora, also great. Would also recommend the Sephora eyeliner pen. Oh my gosh, I used to just buy my eyeliner from like Shoppers and it's the same price. It's like $20 anyway, so I may as well go for the Sephora one that's like, I personally feel like it's better. I love the applicator. It's like a thin line, and personally, I got into makeup because I really wanted to do eyeliner and like eyeshadow and like really fun bold looks. And so I love a nice precise brush because I feel like I have a steady enough hand to use it. So highly recommend, it's great. Shout out to Melody for recommending those products to me because I would not have known where to look otherwise. So mwah, love you, baby. Now I'm going to talk about life in general. Yeah, because I've been learning a lot about myself. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the concept of life cycles and death cycles. I am sure there are people who can say this a lot better than I can, but the way that I understand it is a life cycle is a time where you're like, you feel on top of the world, you're full of love. I would say a life cycle is happening after you've processed your trauma and now you're reaping the rewards. So I'm like, okay, I figured out my shit, like I feel good and I don't have to dig any deeper about that right now. Like I just am enjoying being alive and like healing myself and existing as a person. And then I would describe a death cycle as more of like a look inward and having more of an insight moment. Maybe some things are coming up, maybe you're being triggered by certain things, so you really have to like sit down with yourself and be like, okay, what is going on? It might be more of a struggle, but it's just this process of looking inwards. Also want to say that you can't always be looking inwards. You can't always be unpacking things or like figuring yourself out or like whatever. You need to give yourself time to rest in between those periods because it's like you're recovering. Okay, now you're in a good place and we're gonna like sit in it and sit in that joy of, you know, being better than you were, and then maybe something else will come up and you can deal with that then. But I feel like you don't always have to be asking yourself #deep questions. Not everything has to be #deep. Sometimes you can just enjoy life and that's totally fine. I feel like when I was on vacation with my friends and then with my partner and everything, I was definitely in like that, oh my gosh, everything is paying off. Like all of my goals are coming into place. Like this is the big thing that I've been looking forward to. Like that's so nuts. And then when I got back, I was like, well, now I don't really have anything to look forward to. Or I'm like, oh shit, like now I have to like work and be a person again and like figure out my things, because there were things that were coming up just when I was traveling, especially like for 40 days. It's a very long time where I was like, okay, I need to check in with myself and I don't have the time to do this right now, so I'm gonna have to do it when I get back. And I'm like, fuck, now I have to think about why that made me feel that way, or like why I'm feeling this certain way when I feel like I should be happy right now, but instead I feel a little bit like upset or like sad or just I don't want to be here type of thing. Yeah, so coming back, it was a little bit hard because I was like, fuck, now I have to do the recovery thing again, and it can be so frustrating because I'm just like, I have to do this every single time. Like this cycle of just like, you know, you're good and then you're sad and then you're good and then you're sad and then we're good, whatever, right? But again, reminder that every time you go through that cycle, you're getting better at being yourself, you're getting better at being a person in this life that you have. And I mean, Trixie Mattel said that life gets better every year because you get better at being yourself. And so, you know, despite how hard it is to figure out your shit, it's going to pay off in the future, and you're going to live with yourself for the rest of your life, so you may as well figure it out, you know? Anyways, I've been thinking a lot. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I've been thinking a lot. I journaled for the first time in a really long time, and that was super helpful, because I don't know about y'all, but I get a lot of, like, my thoughts are very loud and can be very intrusive when I don't want them to be. I feel like the easy reaction, or like a very automatic reaction to have, or a very natural reaction to have, is to just push down your thoughts and ignore them and be like la 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 la. But in my own experience, when you do that, they just are going to come back louder, right? And so what you're supposed to do is just acknowledge them, that they're there, and be like, okay, like I had this intrusive thought and it's really upsetting to me, but I see you, intrusive thought. Okay, you are completely neutral because you are just a thought. It doesn't mean anything about me, right? Like your brain has so many thoughts every single day. And one of them being like maybe not in alignment with the person that you think you are, it doesn't have to be an issue. You can just be like, okay, I see you. Thank you for your input. I'm just gonna continue being the person that I am. In terms of brain things, I guess, one, I've been doing affirmations with Sarah West, and I have really been enjoying those things. I've noticed ever since getting back from Asia, I've been experiencing a lot of social anxiety. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I do know why. It's stressful being a person. I've noticed I really don't like it when people are mad at me, okay? I don't like it when people get road rage at me. And I'm very afraid that people are just immediately going to become angry with me and get mad. And, you know, I have reasons for that. But just because that's happened to me in the past doesn't mean it's going to just randomly happen while I'm just like driving or like at the mall or just walking down the street. But yeah, I've noticed I have a lot of like internalized fear and anxiety. And I have been trying to work through that and get through that. But something that's kind of helped in a way is doing like affirmations with Sarah West. So she has like these 21 affirmation videos. It's like an 8-minute long video. And I've been doing that in the morning, and it's helped me kind of visualize like who I want to be and like what I want to bring into my life, the energy I want to bring into my life, and really just like focus on that instead of maybe the fear that's of like this present moment. When it comes to like therapy and your brain, you know, if you imagine your brain as like a record player and you've had like the same thought your entire life. So you say maybe people don't think I'm pretty, like people think I'm ugly, right? You've had that same thought in your entire life. That groove in that record player is like so deep, it's like automatic. Anything like it's automatic. It's going to be an automatic thought. It's going to be unquestioned. It's not like, oh, well, maybe people don't think I'm ugly. It's like, no, that's just an internalized belief that's just in there. It's possible for you to pick up that little like scratcher thing and move it over to a different groove, such as, well, people, maybe they're looking at me, but they probably don't really care about what I'm doing, you know, or like, oh no, I'm actually pretty. If you move it to something else, it's going to take time to get into that groove, but eventually you will be able to do it, right? Like you're probably going to start like slip back into your old thought processes, but you can always pick it up and put it over to a different thought process that's going to help you more. If I go around the world believing that people are going to be mad at me, or they are going to, you know, be upset with me for whatever reason, or act violently against me, that's not helping anybody. Like, it's not going to prevent me from getting hurt, right? It's just going to make me feel afraid and anxious in public, and it's going to hinder my interactions with other people. It's not preventing anything. If somebody wanted to harm me, they would harm me. So walking around like that, I'm just hurting myself twice, right? Because I'm just making myself anxious about something that could or could not happen. As opposed to if I try and change that thought process to, yeah, people don't care about what I'm doing. You know, it's just a neutral thought of like, yeah, maybe they looked at me. It's because I'm walking next to them on the sideway. Like, or it's because I'm walking next to them on the sidewalk. It's fine. Like, they don't care, because again, I have never looked at someone randomly and been like, oh, I hate you so much and I'm so mad at you, you know? Like, that's never been a thing that I've thought. So I'm like, okay, I have to imagine that most people would not randomly see me and feel the need to just become very angry, or like yell at me or anything. So I'm just trying to kind of change this thought process, because with the thought, like, thoughts bring on your emotions, and then that's going to affect the way that you walk in this life. And I don't want to walk around afraid all the time. I want to be able to think that people are nice. I want to be able to experience good interactions and feel fine, feel neutral when I'm in public. And so that's something that I've been personally trying to work on, and the affirmations help with that, because it's doing affirmations in the morning is essentially like right in the morning, picking up that little scratcher thing and moving it to a different groove. And so those are all the grooves that I'm trying to ingrain in my brain. Okay, other things, life changer, using a dishwasher. Watched a video by Future Proof right here, perhaps I'll link it, about how dishwashers, one, use a lot less water, and then also are a lot better at sanitizing your dishes. As someone who is living alone, I have the responsibility of cooking and cleaning now, which is hard to do. Using a dishwasher has really been such a life changer, and it's been great because it's like I don't even have to do anything. It's awesome. In terms of other things that have been really helpful, flushable litter. As someone who owns a cat who is stinky, he smells bad, flushable litter, so life changing, because I used to literally not be able to do the litter because of how like I had the Costco litter, oh so bad, and then we would have like a compost bin and we'd throw it in there, and it would like stink every time you like opened it up. Oh my god, it was terrible. Like, I actually had to leave the bathroom for like 10 minutes and wait for the air to clear out before I could go back in there. Like, it was really bad. And then my partner left, and he usually does the litter, so I was like, what am I gonna do? So flushable litter, such a life changer. You get rid of it so fast. Like, it doesn't stink up the bathroom. Like, it's great. There was one time we missed garbage day, and so the compost bin just sat there with cat litter in it for a week, and it literally grew mold. And it was disgusting. Oh yeah, just in terms of like life management things, cooking and cleaning, always a struggle, have always been a struggle. I was never taught to do either of those things growing up. I grew up on a lot of oven, like instant meals and all of that stuff. And then cleaning was like my parents never like taught me how to clean or anything. So moving to university was kind of a struggle. I did eventually learn how to clean because of my friend Sherry. Like, when I moved in, there was like a list of tasks of like, okay, here are things you should do every day to keep the house looking neat and tidy. So like sweeping, or like wiping down the counters, putting away the dishes in the dishwasher, that kind of stuff. Very basic stuff, but people aren't born knowing general life upkeep things. And so it was really helpful to just have a full comprehensive list of like, here are things that you should be doing, and that will help make the house look nice. Here are things that you should be doing, and that will prevent like a fire hazard, such as emptying out the toaster. Never emptied out the toaster beforehand. But I also recently watched this one video, I'll put it here, by this one very autistic man, Slay, we stan, and he was like, it was just like a video of like, here's how you clean, like here's how you just basically clean a surface. And it was very educational to me. Like, I didn't know. He like had like 2 different cloths. Like, I didn't know you were supposed to wipe off the shit after you like sanitize it, or like leaving the sanitizer on for like 30 seconds before wiping it off. So it was like very helpful. And I appreciate that there are people out there who are willing to really just like, you know, do the basic steps, because I was never taught to do that. I'm sure there's a million people who were never taught how to do that either. So shout out, we appreciate it. And in terms of cooking, I've never had to cook for myself, really. When I moved to university, my sibling cooked for me. Thank you. And I started dating my partner when I was like fresh out the gate. Like me and my partner started dating like immediately when university started. And he is really into cooking. He's a great cook. He's autistic and very like well planned out. Like he would meal prep. I would like go over to his house and then he would send me home with food. So then I would always have something to eat, even if I was like never cooking myself. That was really helpful, you know? That was great because also as a student, I was always super busy. I never had time to do anything. I mean, he was a student too, but he was just better at that than me. So I just like let him do all of that, which is great, and I appreciate it. And I would wash the dishes. But again, he's not here anymore. So it's just me, and I have to learn how to eat. Like, obviously when I was in university, there were times where he wasn't around, or like I wouldn't be at his house, you know, that much, or he wouldn't have food to send me home with. In those times, I just subsisted on my basic meals that were enough calories to get me through the day. So it'd be like bagel, eggs, like oatmeal, toast, like very basic things. I can make shakshuka. That's like the one. I can make like roasted vegetables and rice. That was one that was really easy for me. But I really struggle with like making food that tastes yummy. I feel like I make food that is okay and that I will eat it. But food that's like I eat it and I'm like, wow, that's so good. I'm very much not experienced in doing that. I was watching a different video recently by Odysseus, I think his name is, or Odysseus. I don't know how to pronounce it. But there's something he said and it really struck me, which was when it comes to cooking, right? It's something that you have to do every single day. So you can either commit to like having a struggle meal every time you have to eat and just like suffering, or you can commit to putting in a little bit of effort every time you make a meal for yourself and slowly building that skill, because that's something that you're gonna have to do for the rest of your life anyway, so you may as well be good at it, and it may as well like not be stressful and like bad for you. And I was like, wow, that's a great perspective. I have never thought about that before. And so that has really inspired me to try and put in a little bit of effort every time I make something for myself, because I want to be able to make food that's yummy. Like I want my kids to have food that's good, like, and good for them. And so that's something I've been trying to practice recently. I made roasted potatoes and they actually turned out good. And I am very proud of myself for doing that. That's something that's inspired me lately. And I've also found a lot of success in just having like one base recipe that I know I can make successfully and then fiddling around with it. So for example, I have a lot of pulled pork, so making pulled pork sandwiches and then adding things onto it, like an egg, garlic sauce, mayonnaise, that kind of stuff has been really fun to experiment with. Also with pancakes, I've been adding like different toppings to pancakes because I just have like the instant Costco pancake and I know I can make that. So yeah, shout out to him. Thanks. That was a great perspective and I literally didn't think about it like that, and now my life has been changed. I really want to learn organization and neurodivergent friendly things, because for me, the struggle with cooking, again, I have ADHD and I just have this giant wall of awful in my head of just like, there's so many little things that you need to know how to do, and that I find it very, very, very overwhelming. Like when I'm at the grocery store, I need to know what ingredients I need. I need to know what tastes good together. I need to know when this will keep, or like how long it'll keep for. I need to know like how long this meal is gonna take. When I'm cooking, I need to know, you know, how long to leave it in the oven for, what temperature to set it at, whether I should use like this type of dish or a different type of dish, or put aluminum foil on it. And like there's so many different like little steps that a lot of people, I mean, I have to assume, I'm sure a lot of people were taught how to do that, and a lot of people, it comes pretty naturally to them, or it feels really obvious, but I was like never taught any of those things. And so it's such a struggle for me to like just go and do it, and then afterwards there's like the cleanup process, and then it's not even yummy, so like what's the point of making it? The only thing I can make that's good, shakshuka. That's yummy. I can make a good shakshuka, and that's just the onion and garlic talking, that's not me. So I really want to learn like the fundamentals and basics of cooking, and that's kind of inspired me to slowly but surely build up my skills. Yeah, the other thing that I've been thinking about a lot is that things take time. And it's really easy to be impatient with yourself, especially in this day and age of just, you know, instant gratification. and seeing people online, again, this is also from Odysseus's or Odyssey's video, but like seeing people online and they have spent years developing and mastering their craft. The only thing that we see is the end product. And it's like, wow, well this like 20-year-old can make this fantastic art, and here I am like not doing anything, right? Or like here I am and my art skill isn't that high and whatever. But good things take time, and that's something that I've been trying to remind myself. Good things take time. It's really important to be patient. Like I would like to say I'm a pretty good musician, you know, but that's because I spent 12 years of my life like studying music every week, you know, practicing every single week. Like I didn't just get to that level without doing something, you know, without like putting in a lot of effort. And so for me, music is something that just like feels natural. It's just like an automatic thing. Like it just is there within me. But I know that's not the case for a lot of people. I know it doesn't feel like intuitive to a lot of people. That's because I had the privilege of being able, you know, to have that training. Yeah, and that takes a lot of time. But now I'm trying to get into different things like art and video editing and photography and composition, like all of these different things. And I'm like, wow, like I suck at all of these things. Like I'm not very good at all of these things. And I'm very good at this one thing, but like I can't, you know, like I can't do it as well as I want to be doing it. And that's so frustrating. And I feel like shitty about it. But then I'm like, baby, good things take time. Like I've only been doing art visually since like the beginning of university. I've only been playing guitar and like trying to sing since the beginning of university. I've only been like trying to do all of these like things that I'm trying to do for a very short amount of time. And a person's life is very long, you know. I have time, and I may as well, you know, I may as well enjoy the process of building those skills instead of trying to criticize myself every single time I don't do something as perfectly as I want to. So last thing, I've been training my cat Dio, which has been a lot of fun for both of us. I think he really likes it. Like I've been trying to harness train him because I want to like be able to walk him and like have him as a shoulder cat. He injured me really badly today, actually. He gave me like a massive gash like down my leg for no reason. So I'm very upset with him right now. But before that happened, well, he was just trying to play, but oh my God, it hurt real bad. And he doesn't even feel bad about it. But before that happened, I've been training him on the harness, training him on the leash. I think it's really gratifying to work with him towards something like, towards a common goal, and he always gets really excited when I bring out the harness, like his tail starts vibrating like this, and yeah, it's been really exciting to like be able to interact with him in a different way, and I feel like I've kind of gotten a new understanding of him as a guy. That's been super gratifying. That's just like, I'm somebody who is a huge animal lover, so it's been really fun. I'll say the last thing I've really enjoyed is just dreaming about the future and dreaming about my future life and the places I want to take it and what I want to do. I got into a program for counseling, which is really awesome. So I'm going to be training to be a counselor, and me and my partner recently signed a lease for our new apartment in a new city, in a place we never lived before. Yeah, which is really exciting. And so I really want to build a home that is neurodivergent friendly because, baby, right now it's not it. Right now it's not it. I want to apply all of the learning and all of the things that I've figured out about myself and about life to this new place and like build it up to be like, you know, better than it was, better, you know, and nice and wonderful and amazing and joyous and exciting. And I'm so like excited about it, even though I'm not excited about the loans and the cost and like all the money that's going into it. But it's been really fun just like being like, okay, well, maybe we'll go and like take painting classes at this place near our house. Maybe we'll go and like go to this gym or like buy furniture here or like work at this place. Like there's so many things to consider, and it's so new, and it's also scary and anxiety inducing, but for the most part, it's like perfect. And I'm very excited to go on that journey with you guys, but that is something for a future video when it actually happens. So thanks for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video if you liked this video. I would love if you guys put things in the comments. Tell me about what is keeping you going these past few months. What's been bringing you joy? What's been making you happy? What has been on your mind? Like, I would love to know. I'm lacking social interaction. Anyways, if you made it to the end of this video, wow, thanks. Love ya. Talk to you later. And yeah, bye. Mwah.